So I'm an alcoholic. Let's get into that. I was gonna wait until I hit the 100-day mark, but I checked my little app and I am 91 days sober, which is kind of insane. I don't think many people would know this about me. I think most people would say that I enjoy to drink. I liked having a good time. But I don't think people understood like how drinking was a part of my day-to-day life. And it wasn't like I would wake up and drink until I would go to bed. It was more so I would wake up hungover, do everything that I needed to do, and then around 5 or 6, my body would get into this weird like shutdown mode because it knew like, oh, it's time to drink. And I would have like a glass of wine that would end up being like probably, I would consider 2 glasses, but I think to an average person it was probably like 2 big glasses, which is like 4 normal glasses of wine. And that was enough for me because I'm pretty much like a lightweight. And I would do that to help myself go to sleep. And that was my day-to-day for a lot. Now, of course, it didn't start like that. I think it started normally. I would go out to have a good time. My social anxiety would get the best of me, to relax and loosen up. I would drink. And of course, I wasn't drinking for the taste or to loosen up. I was drinking to get to that fun drunk point where I didn't feel like I was being judged. If I'm drunk, I don't care. I would say what I want to say, do what I want to do. It was fine. For the most part, it didn't have any like repercussions. I'm sure there's some crazy stories. Okay, I know there's some crazy stories. We don't got to get into all that. Mainly, it was also not just the social anxiety aspect, but it was the me not thinking about things that were bothering me. Because not just on top of social anxiety, it was also just normal anxiety. And so I didn't have to deal with all those thoughts in my head when I could have a glass of wine and just relax and not worry about it. And then, of course, the next day, after being hungover or not hungover, those thoughts are creeping into my mind and I can just bury them way, way down. And of course, again, that's not healthy. So the beginning of this year, I decided that I was going to slow down. I wasn't sure if I was going to be completely sober, but I knew drinking every night was not good for me. So I thought I would slow down, and I did pretty well. I think my first stint was maybe, I want to say a week, which again doesn't sound crazy, but to me, a week of not having like that glass of wine at the end of the night, that was a big deal. I think I had like gotten a bottle of wine. I was like, you know what? I think I'm under control. I can do a week. Of course, it wasn't under control. After that, my longest was probably 2 weeks, maybe something like that. And then I would drink again. And then finally, the first big time, which I think I hit around the 80-day mark, maybe 70, I don't remember. Yeah, I did really well. And then, of course, it was a party I had to attend. And it was the party under the guise of, like, we're going to go get drunk. Like, this is a thing. And so I thought, I've not had a drink. I haven't had anything in so long. This is fine. But, of course, the party... It was a party, and I do not regret it at all. But what I do regret is what happened afterward. It was the same thing. Got back into the habit of, okay, well, I need my drink to go to sleep. I need my drink to unwind and relax. And it was like I couldn't just, like most people, I think, even though maybe that's not healthy for some people, having that one day to party or that one weekend, and then you're good for like the year or whatever. For me, it was like, oh, I miss this feeling. I miss being the fun person that everybody likes, and so I ended up going back onto that, getting a bottle of wine every night and like drinking it. I think I think maybe I took like a little break after that, of course, because it was a crazy party. But I ended up getting the wine again and getting into that habit. And that's when we come to this point. I am now 91 days sober. And I have no intentions of drinking again. I hope this video does not age poorly. I think you don't realize how much you think about alcohol until you can't have it. I remember trips to the grocery store being centered around, okay, I've been to this HEB I don't know how many times. They for sure know I'm here for wine. Like, and then will other people know? Or if I've run into somebody I know, I have run into people I know and like had to like, oh, got a party, or you know, like all these little things and excuses I would make. Just how my life was so dictated around getting alcohol. It was a lot. It was unhealthy for sure. Not just in the actual consumption of it, but just the mental gymnastics I was doing on a daily basis to justify this. And I would always say, well, I needed to sleep. And then when I wouldn't have alcohol, like, I would end up going to sleep. And it would be like, well, my insomnia, then I'll get things to treat my insomnia. And then it was like, well, but still I'm groggy. But then it's like, if I was drinking, I would be hungover. So again, all these little excuses that you make just to justify something that you don't even need, you know? Also, I didn't realize how centered the world was when it came to drinking as well. Because again, when you're in it, you don't really think about it. But going out to restaurants, again, the grocery store, even the mall recently, I just posted a shopping vlog with my mom, and they had a Fat Tuesdays and a bar very close to each other. Again, I was never the type to be like, oh, I need a drink. But so like that doesn't bother me, but now that I'm not drinking, I notice these things a lot more. And if I were drinking, I'd probably be like, yeah, having a bar in the mall is reasonable. That's normal. So being over 90 days sober, something I've realized about myself is that I don't like drinking. And I think I've kind of said that already, or in different ways, but it wasn't alcohol that I liked. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't even like fruity drinks that kind of tasted like alcohol. I liked hard liquor so I could get drunk and know I was gonna get drunk, or like wine or something that I knew was strong, that if I had a couple of these, I would get to that point. I didn't like casually drinking. I didn't like sipping on things. I didn't like, again, I wasn't drinking to relax. I was drinking to forget. And I think that's a really important thing that I've learned, which is why I don't think I could ever go back to drinking. And I know that there are some people who are sober for months and years at a time, and they're like, you know what, I'm fine. I don't have a hold. Like, alcohol doesn't have a hold on me anymore, so I can drink. That's not me. Again, if that's you, cool. If some people take breaks, you know, that's fine. For me, this is it. I cannot drink again, because if I drink, I want to get drunk. Like, to me, having a beer is not worth it, because it doesn't taste good and it's not going to get me drunk, so there's no point. So that's where my mind is at. So alcohol and I will never be friends. Also, something I've realized is that I wasn't lazy. I was just hungover. And I don't know if any of y'all have like noticed that when it's like when you're not hungover and you're not thinking about the next drink, there's just so many hours in the day. Like, I found myself being so productive, and that's kind of crazy to say because I've always been kind of productive. But like right now, I'm filming this at night, and usually at a certain point, I'm like, I'm not bringing the ring light out. I'm not setting up a camera. I'm not like, no, I'm done. I'm clocked out for the day. I'm I'm relaxing, this is me time. Or by this point I would just be drunk already, so it was out of the question. But like, look at me. I'm up, I'm ready. I could get stuff done. Like we've been doing Elf on the Shelf and I haven't missed, well, I missed one day. That was just because we just forgot. But for the most part, like this Vlogmas, I wouldn't have never ever been able to do Vlogmas if I was still drinking. There's no way, because a lot of these things I've been filming throughout the day, and then at night to make that deadline of posting every day, I'm editing. So if I was like drinking or something, I wouldn't be able to do this. And so to me, that's really cool that like, oh, I wasn't just lazy. Like I was just a little drunk. So much of my life has revolved around alcohol and how I perceive myself and how I thought others perceived myself. And when I stopped drinking, it really it forced me to sit with myself. And I think that's something a lot of people don't do. A lot of people are not introspective, is that the word? Like a lot of people don't really look at themselves. They don't like just sit in front of the mirror and be like, okay, we gotta talk. Like this is not good. And I was someone who I was like that until I wasn't. You know, I think there were points in my life where even between being drunk and hungover, yeah, I would sit with myself and really be like, I have to stop. But again, I felt like, who cares? No one cares about me. I don't care about me. So let me just drink until I die. This has been a crazy year. And it's so funny because, of course, when I became sober, and I'm sure like others, when you become sober, it's like everything just falls apart. And it's like, well, now I have nothing. I can't even drink to forget about all the problems in my day-to-day life. And like my world's falling apart. That's what it feels like, you know. My world's falling apart and I can't even have a glass of wine. That's what it felt like. And you know what? Now, 91 days in, I can say I don't need that glass of wine. And neither do you, if you're watching out there. I'm sure there's gonna be like some one like person that's like, I'm drinking right now while I'm watching this. And good for you. Cheers. So I've talked about my social anxiety and how, to me, alcohol was a way to kind of remedy that. I could drink and be like the fun person, and that was my true self. I know for some people, once you like get into recovery and stuff, it's like, no, that's not your true self. That's just your drunk self. Like your true self is your sober self. You know what I mean? And now that I'm sober, my personality hasn't changed that much. Like the biggest, like scariest thing for me was like, oh my God, no one's gonna like me. I won't be that fun person that people go to anymore. And to some people, I'm probably not a fun person because I'm still very socially anxious and introverted. So sometimes like people think I'm just like being like someone who doesn't want to talk to people. I love talking to people. I love people. I do. I love talking to. I love having fun. I love being goofy. And I'm sober and I'm still the same goofy person. And it's weird sometimes when I'm with like people that I'm comfortable with and that I can just be myself with. I'm with them and I'll catch myself and I'm just like, oh my God, look at me being funny and social. Like, who is she? It's weird. I don't know. It's just something that I think about sometimes. I'm like, wow, look at me holding a conversation. And again, it might not be something most people think about, but I do. And it's something that has really been fun to like see this new side of me, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I'm only 91 days in, so we'll see how this goes. I will say Something also I didn't notice is like the brain fog. I had really bad brain fog. So basically, I ended up drinking, getting drunk, hungover, normal. And for some reason, even though I was so hungover and just feeling like shit, and my period started, I started drinking again. And it just like, my body was shutting down. And my body was like, what are you doing? Like, chill. And I was like, no. And I ended up going to the ER. They basically were like, whatever, it's fatigue or what. Because I didn't tell them the whole story, obviously. I lied. But they gave me like some random like papers. Like, it could be this or this or this or this. And like one of them was something. I can't remember what it was. I wish I kept the paper. I'm sure it's somewhere in the house. But it was like, the cure to this is like to stop drinking. Like, alcohol is not good for whatever this thing is that I could possibly have. And it was a wake up call, but of course it didn't stop me. Of course not. Of course I had to hit rock bottom before that happens. Maybe I'll share that story one day. It was just weird how that brain fog, which is something I just thought about it because I don't think I have it anymore. And I want to say the first time when I hit like day 80-ish, something like that, that's when it did stop, kind of. And of course I drank again and messed it all up. But now thinking about it, I don't think I have that anymore, which is crazy. Oh my god, that was like the biggest thing that like kind of was like, oh, maybe I should stop, because I would wake up and everything just felt foggy and I couldn't focus, I couldn't think, nothing was helping. And of course I was just still drinking, so that really wasn't helping. But now, yeah, I don't think I have that brain fog anymore. Wow, amazing. I love that for me. But I want to close this out by saying something else I've noticed about being sober is that I'm not alone. And I don't know if it's like, I think it's been talked about a lot, like this generation or just different things happening. You would think more people would be drinking, but in fact there's a lot of people that are sober or that are giving up alcohol or at least cutting back. There's so many different like alcohol free drinks and like mocktails, and stuff. And again, I don't know what is going on, but this is a really good time to be sober. A lot of people that I know personally, and I mean, it could be age as well. Some people are just, they really can't drink. It's like just not good for them. I mean, I have someone in my life who had a tumor to the point where it was like making them dizzy, and like they weren't sure if they're gonna have to get it operated on or what. And they ended up stopped drinking, and the little tumor started to shrink, like, and their health has been on the up and up. So it's like, wow, look at look at that. I don't know, like, there's just so many people I know that are just not drinking because of health reasons or just other things in general. And so it's nice to not be alone in this. I think maybe in a different time, if I were trying to be sober, it would be a little more difficult. But honestly, if you're watching this and you're thinking about it, this is like a great time to start. Like, randomly, so many people who I watch, like YouTubers, like they'll just kind of be like, yeah, I'm not really drinking right now for like health reasons, it's not really good for you, so I'm just cutting back, or I'm not going to drink for the rest of the year or whatever. And it's like, oh, like, so many people, and it's just really encouraging. And I hope I can be one of those people. If you're watching this and you're like, should I stop drinking? Well, here's me saying you should stop.